Master Duel is coming out swinging here with an potentially really interested. The thing is, like, this can go one of two ways, okay? So we have a new selection pack. It releases April 9th, which is in 5 days from now. So this upcoming week, I believe it's Thursday usually when they add the packs, or is it Wednesday? No, it should be Thursday. Additional pack, the Frenzied Tuning. Cool tune hits the dance floor with tuners only to synchro summon up a soundstorm. The reason why I say this could go two ways is because the cards that they're highlighting here are Cool Tune, RB, Rose Dragon support, Heart of Gaia, and the Draco Slayer support. The Draco, not Draco Slayer, True King, whatever, man. You know what I mean. 4 out of these 5 archetypes, True Draco. Yeah, True Draco, my bad. 4 out of these 5 archetypes are relatively inconsequential for the competitive scene in Master Duel, right? Like some of these cards are cool. I do think the Rose Dragon support looked pretty cool. I also think RB is a decently fun concept, even though it's not super strong, but it's playable, but nothing too crazy. So the 4 to the right here are simply put not that exciting for me personally as a competitive player, right? I'm sure there's people out there who like these decks, but from a competitive standpoint, they're not going to make the biggest impact. With Cool Tune, people are asking all over the place right now, are we getting the full Cool Tune support, or are we getting just the first wave of Cool Tunes? Because that makes a world of a difference, right? Because if we just get the first couple of Cool Tune cards, then it's relatively, like the other archetypes, relatively inconsequential and not that crazy. If we're getting the full lineup of Cool Tunes, though, then this is potentially the next best deck in Master Duel, which is a big difference between not that great and potentially best deck, right? So I'm kind of excited to see what happens, because if you look at recent trends or how they've done it, not even just recently, but for like the most part of Master Duel's lifespan, is they have not split up archetypes much, right? They usually release them all at the same time, whether it's Malice, or whether it's K9, or whether it's Yummy. They usually release all at once, right? Like we got Yummy with Marshmallow, even though Marshmallow was a later release in the TCG. We got K9 with Noroi. We got Malice with March Hare. We got Ryziel with Star, I believe. I think we got them all together, right? They just tend to put all the cards for an archetype into one pack, which would be really impactful if they do the same with Cool Tune. And it's weird because Cool Tune is relatively early in this sense for Master Duel. I mean, if they release Cool Tune with the full support, that would be before the Cool Tune cards are even out in the TCG, which in my opinion would be pretty exciting. What you think of Cool Tune as a whole is a different question, I suppose, because I do think Cool Tune is one of the more polarizing archetypes for 2 reasons. Number 1, it is projected to be top meta, which is always something that some people really dislike when a deck comes out and just like overturns the metagame like that, and then you play against it a lot. But the second thing is that people, like, there's a lot of people who just don't like the way Cool Tune plays, because they have like, look at your opponent's hand, take a card away from your opponent's extra deck and stuff like that, right? Like a lot of the things that people hated about, for example, Kashtira Unicorn, are present in Cool Tune, which is something that makes the deck really polarizing. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what happens. My personal prediction, if I had to guess, is I think they're releasing the full thing, because I think that's the only way this makes sense. Like I don't think that they would release a pack like this with just the first wave of Cool Tunes, because then, like, realistically, almost no one is going to open this pack. I think the way I'm looking at this is I think they're putting Cool Tune in here at full power so that the pack is good and relevant for everybody who's trying to compete, because then you're going to need to open this pack if Cool Tune is in here, if you want like one of the best decks in the format. And that's why they're putting some not so great archetypes beside it, right? Like that's why Rose Dragon, RB, Gaia, and True Draco are in here, because Cool Tune is the pack seller on its own if they're doing the full lineup, right? If they're not doing the full lineup, then basically no one is going to open this pack because none of them are meta, right? That's how I feel about this. That's how I feel like it makes sense. I'm not sure how, you know, how they reached the decision to release Cool Tune so early, because we are missing stuff that came out way before Cool Tune still, right? Like we still don't have the branded support from, actually no, was Cool Tune was before Burst Protocol, right? So technically if they're going by TCG release date, Cool Tune was before Fallen of White, so maybe that actually does make sense. I don't know, I guess we'll have to wait and see for it on Thursday, but I think it's an interesting thing. Yeah. And then Strike of Justice and Beyond the Next Level are disappearing from the shop, I believe. Which, let me check which ones those are, because that means, of course, always when we talk about Master Duel ban lists, people are always like, oh, they can't hit those cards yet because they're still in the shop. What is Strike of Justice? Strike of Justice is, oh, is that K9? Oh, it's K9. They can finally start hitting K9 and people can stop saying, oh, they're not going to hit K9 because they're still in the shop. Let's go. Love me. I would love me some K9 hits next month. That would be awesome. What's the other one? Beyond. It was Beyond something. Beyond. Ah, it's just a staple pack. Okay. Well, that's not that exciting. I guess that's actually not a great thing that that's rotating out. So I suppose if you still are looking for your playset of Alt Art Ashes or Bells or whatever, then you got to get them now before this pack expires. Although they already said like there's going to be a new permanent pack for staples, right? So maybe that's better. At the same time, we don't know if that's going to have the alt art. So, you know, I guess if you need those, then not sure. Still no alt art nib. I'm waiting for the alt art nib. Yeah. Okay. So this is something I'm you know, gonna be live for on Thursday for sure for the new pack, and we're hopefully gonna be able to play some full power Cool Tune, because I love when decks release early in Master Duel so that like I can showcase them better and actually play with them before they even come out in the TCG. I think that would be awesome. Disregarding whether you like Cool Tune or not, I just like in general when decks come out early in Master Duel and we have similar decks in the format between Master Duel and TCG. I find that very enjoyable, because then it doesn't feel like you're playing two completely separate formats. Of course, there's always going to be differences, but if the archetypes present are similar, then I think it's more interesting and more fun. But we'll see. Funnily enough, Rotary can't search if the opponent's hand is at 0. Yeah, I saw that. It makes sense the way it's worded, but yeah, we'll talk more about Cool Tune. Don't worry. If Cool Tune is in this pack, or even if it's not, I have some Cool Tune content prepared for the upcoming weeks, because the deck is also going to be very relevant in the TCG. So I'm going to make YouTube videos on like what all the cards do and how it plays and so on and so forth. And if it's in Master Duel, then of course we're gonna play it and see exactly how it works and all that good stuff. So don't worry about that. We'll get to that soon.